EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the architectural wonder that is the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. A moment ago, here was the scene. The Falcons coming out from their tunnel to the roar of all the folks here in Atlanta. We're ready for football as these Falcons get set to match up with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Ready! Wait, 25! 39.
On 2nd down, Freeman right at the 40-yard line. New set of downs.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Get up! Ready! 21! Get up! Let go!
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Now they'll throw it with Ryan. Rolling to his right. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
12. Ready. Back 25. I got 2. 22.
From the gun, it's Ryan. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 49. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. Oh, he's going to take a shot right. Oh, wide open, complete. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. James Washington, 52 yards. And the Steelers have taken a first quarter lead. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play, and just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
Boswell good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. For the Falcons, Charles, we talked all year about the injuries that they had in 2018, and you kind of touched on it earlier, too. It's hard to get around them, though, when you look back at this past year. So they go to 7-9, and I know that that's not what they wanted, but with all the injuries, is that okay?
It would be if you didn't think you were going to the Super Bowl. You know, if you didn't think you had a chance at that, and they did going into the season. But when you lose your starting safeties in Ricardo Allen and Keanu Neal, your middle linebacker, Deion Jones, for a long stretch of time, you end up starting 1-4. Then in the second half of the season, you have a 5-game losing streak. 7-9 is actually better than I thought that they were.
Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Here's Ryan. He'll air this one toward Coleman. He's got him in, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 39 that time. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing now, Ryan on 1st down. And it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Ryan. Going underneath is Coleman. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 4 yards on the pickup, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They run, Devontae Freeman. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. On the heels of that good carry by Devontae Freeman, here's 1st and 10. Freeman again, a 1st down carry. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Cameron Hayward in on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out.
Let's go. 22. Hey. Let it go.
From the shotgun, Ryan. On the crossing route, complete. It's Jones. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. First catch so far for Julio. He's got a 1st down.
Right.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman, a 13-yard touchdown run. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25.
Got a second here to assess Pittsburgh's last season as their offense comes onto the field. You know, for most of the folks that are fans of the Steel City, they're probably saying, wow, this was tough. But, hey, they were 9-6-1. The thing is, expectations there are playoffs every year.
You're right, and to show that, they haven't been under 500 since 2003. It's a very consistent franchise. But remember how the season began. Le'Veon Bell, once again holding out. They expected him to show up and play, but that didn't happen. Then at the end of the year, Antonio Brown, Ben Roethlisberger. What's going to happen there? So they bookended their season with controversies. In the middle, did not play up to their standards. I still thought they were going to win the AFC North. Turned out Baltimore nosed them out. They've got to do some retooling in the offseason.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Brown. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. A gain of 6 there on first. Numbers-wise, another great season for Brown. Over 100 catches, nearly 1,300 yards, 15 touchdowns. But, yes, there was some late-season drama, was there not?
There was, and that has the Steelers, it sounds like, listening to trade offers in the offseason. Front office saying they're not going to release him, but, quote, all options are on the table, which is not something you normally hear with your number one receiver. And those kind of numbers, remember, they're amassed despite double and triple coverage on just about every snap.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Here's Roethlisberger. Flush to his right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Brooks Reed. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. So the sack, and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Going to throw deep for the end zone. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have back on their heels.
And Boswell's kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
Before this next drive gets going, we need to discuss the Hall of Fame inductees. There will be 8 in the 2019 class. We got Champ Bailey, Tony Gonzalez, Ty Law. Who else am I forgetting in there?
Well, how about a big guy, a lineman, Kevin Mawai, who was absolutely terrific in his career. How about Ed Reed with the Baltimore Ravens and the great job he did in the secondary there. Pat Bowlen, Gil Brandt as contributors, the owner of the Broncos and the longtime scout with the Cowboys. And I love the senior committee bringing in Johnny Robinson, the safety with Kansas City.
Tony Gonzalez was a first ballot guy. And, of course, when I hear Ty Law's name, you think, wow, he started this great Patriots dynasty that we're still living in.
You're exactly right. And the Patriots, with all of their championships, probably underrepresented in the Hall of Fame.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. On 2nd down, here's Ryan. Pressure up the middle, and down he goes.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. On fourth down, here's Matt Bosher on to punt. Back deep for the Steelers, Antonio Brown. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. While we have a second here, let's peek back to the Super Bowl. The lowest scoring Super Bowl, Charles, in history, 13-3. And it took us 53 minutes to get our first touchdown of Super Bowl 53.
Can you believe they went into the half, 3-0 New England, Stephen Gostkowski with a field goal. Then they finally tie it up with Greg Zuerlein at the end of 3 quarters of the Rams knocking one through the post. The Patriots, a third team to win the year after losing the Super Bowl, the first since the Dolphins in 1972.
And, of course, the big number now for New England, 6 titles, and they are tied with the Steelers for the most ever. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. On first down, it's Roethlisberger. Goes underneath for Bell. 23 yards on the play.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
Now, Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
Ready, blue 80. 52, 54, south. Gun. Hey, express. On.
They'll throw on first down with Ryan. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Cameron Hayward. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action.
Hey, let's go.
Sacks, a growing
22.
theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Gun. Got it. 280. 21. 11. 22. 21.
Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Stephon Tuitt in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the 3rd quarter. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
On second down, here's Roethlisberger. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Vic Beasley in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Now Ben on 3rd and long. Eluding the pressure right. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's Jordan Berry now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. So we get set to start this 3rd quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And now a 10th carry for Freeman. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. Well, I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now the pitch to Freeman. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
and going to give it to Freeman. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. To give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They toss to Freeman. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. The linebacker, Ryan Shazier, there to make the tackle.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
A toss play left. There goes Devontae Freeman. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On third down, Ryan. And it's complete. Hooper. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. They give him 27 yards on the third down conversion. Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter.
Get out! Ready! 25! Watch 98! Watch 98! 98's the mic. I can't believe it. Hey,
Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through three quarters. No reason to lighten up now. Looking for a crease. Can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down. On third down, Devontae Freeman. It's a pickup of 4, but they're still a yard short here with fourth down, forthcoming.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
Get up!
Here we go. It's Ryan on fourth down. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Bud Dupree in there to get him for a loss of 5. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 11. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Vic Beasley in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now Roethlisberger back into his end zone. This is Bell on the dump off. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. Give him 9 on the play, and that's going to make it 3rd down and 10.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. And the blitz does come. This one complete. Right side to McDonald. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another first down.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Roethlisberger going to throw it. Looking deep downfield. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
It's complete to Brown, right side. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. And the Steelers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Throwing now is Roethlisberger. Man open left side is Brown. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. And the Falcons going to use another timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ballgame. Roethlisberger now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. And they will take a knee here.
Let's go. King.
Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium, that certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost like opened up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you? EA Sports coverage of the NFL is in Houston, in the Space City at NRG Stadium. The scene from a few moments ago, this crowd enthusiastically cheering on their Texans as they emerge from the locker room. And we're just about ready for football as the Texans get set to match up with the Atlanta Falcons. The veteran Matt Bryant set to rock and roll. And we are underway here on EA Sports. On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Well, Charles, it feels like Lamar Miller's been around the NFL forever, but he's still just going to turn 28 in April. This past year, though, 973 rushing yards, good for 12th in the league.
And you know that he's capable of being a 1,000-yard runner year in and year out, save for some injuries, and maybe utilizing the pass game a little bit more in Houston. 4.6 yards per carry is a healthy number, and that was his highest since 2014 when he was with the Miami Dolphins.
He's going to float this one deep right side, and that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. On second down, here's Miller. He spins free. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Throwing on third down, Watson. Forced out to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll try the air now with Watson. And he will find his man for the first time, Demaryius Thomas. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. A first down carry now for Miller. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Here's Watson. His throw caught at about the 5. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. The Texans with the first opportunity now from the red zone. They've got it 1st and goal at the 6. Out of the gun, Watson. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
They get it to him running left. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller taking it in from a yard out. And the Texans take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Gun. Ready. 25. 21.
From the shotgun, Ryan escaping the pressure right. Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard to go for the first. From the gun, it's Ryan. Flushed out right. Now he's going to let it go deep. And this is what here? Incomplete, they say. It looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not get the 2 feet down in bounds. They tried the throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Operating from the gun, Ryan, flush to his right. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44, and they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. The Houston Texans, as they come onto the field, obviously their offseason hit a little earlier than they wanted in January, making it to the playoffs, losing to Indianapolis. That was the first time the 2 AFC South teams had actually met in the playoffs when they squared off with the Colts.
And think about how the 2 of them began the year. Houston began 0-3. The Colts began 1-5. Yet they both finished so hot. The Colts down the stretch, 9-1 in their last 10. Houston 8-2, and end up meeting in the playoffs. And both of them ended up winning on the other team's home field. The Colts did it twice. Houston did it once.
Well, as you said several times, hard for Houston to be completely disappointed with the ending. They have a lot to build on for next year. It's a gain of 7, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a Turkey Bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. And the pitch goes to Miller. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. I actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
On 1st down, it's Watson. Dancing to his left. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
It's nothing like pressure to affect the accuracy and the timing of a guy trying to throw the football. And on that play, they ended up flushing him to his left, contacted him as he's trying to throw the football, and that led to the incompletion.
Now Watson, and incomplete there. A nice hit, jars the ball free, and brings up third down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in.
Almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Call that a loss of 7 to bring up fourth. Kaimi Fairbairn now to attempt the Texan field goal. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Well, off topic, but we'd be remiss if we didn't point out what else was happening Super Bowl weekend. The Madden 19 Club Championship, second major this season, 2 more to follow. And our winner, Pauvin, representing the Oakland Raiders. He took down the Vikings, and your favorite, Charles, I.B. Strafen. He had to reach for the ibuprofen after a 38-24 beatdown in the final.
Well, you know if he was representing
A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. It's J.J. Watt, and his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them, when they were in youth football and in high school, they didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Watson to Hopkins for a huge hookup, 45 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when a breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
A shotgun snap for Watson, and his throw is incomplete. Robert Alford that time on the great coverage.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Being chased out left. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation. The Texans on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and goal. They'll go with Foreman. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal.
This drive started with 1st and goal.
And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Deshaun Watson taking it in. And the Texans will add on to their lead. Well, there was no secret there. They were in goal line formation. They wanted to pound it in on 4th and goal, and they did just that.
And how about the challenge? That's a challenge to the offensive line, which they eagerly accept. I haven't met a lineman yet that doesn't want to run the ball more than throw it because they get to fire out and really smack. They got it done. I'm sure they were encouraging them on the sideline. Let's go, and let's run the ball as well. And they put it in for 6.
Fairbairn now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Well, CD, the NFL held its awards show the night before the Super Bowl, and as you and I had speculated the last few weeks, Patrick Mahomes, MVP Offensive Player of the Year, and for the 2nd straight season, how about Aaron Donald, Defensive Player of the Year?
Yeah, Donald was expected. We knew that was going to happen. Mahomes, we thought would happen. There was that school of thought that maybe Drew Brees might walk away with the MVP since he's never won one, but Mahomes a deserving winner. How about the Offensive Rookie of the Year? Saquon Barkley with the Giants. Many thought it might be Baker Mayfield with Cleveland.
Yeah, Defensive Rookie of the Year, Darius Leonard of the Colts, and the Colts Comeback Player of the Year, Andrew Luck, and very deservedly so.
I would say that for sure, and he beat out J.J. Watt, who also would have been a deserving winner. Coach of the Year, I thought, was a close vote, or probably should have been closer to me, because I thought Anthony Lynn from the Chargers.
This is caught inside the 15. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. A big play there just before halftime, and even 50 yards. This is 1st and goal, and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. They'll look to run with Freeman. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout, as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. 2nd and goal, and the lone man in the backfield is Freeman. They get it to him running left. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
I don't even have to stretch for this one. This is 4-down territory. They've got to get it in with the deficit that they're facing.
Absolutely. It's not the 4th quarter, but still, I think you can't be thinking 3 here.
No, if you do that, you might as well go ahead and fold up on this one. But I don't think they're built like that.
Final play of the half. It's Ryan. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones, as time expires in the first half, and the Falcons get a bit closer. And it's 17-7. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Now Ryan on first down. Going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Jadeveon Clowney able to drop him for a loss of 4. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
On second down, Ryan eluding the pressure right. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. 3rd and long. It's Ryan escaping the pressure right. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Sometimes we wonder about play calls, but this one made perfect sense to me. He's got the only touchdown that they've scored in this game. Tried to get it to him again on another deep ball.
Now punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. Taken from just outside the 30. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Ricardo Allen, the safety, makes the stop.
Two jet.
Again, it's Miller. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. The Texans on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
3 down. Tiger.
Play action from Miller. Now Watson. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Vic Beasley with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7. They are going for it. Here's Watson. Over the middle, that's caught by QT. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Richmond. Green the line.
On 1st and 10, Watson. Thomas has got it, complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. They go back to the ground now with Miller. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They'll try to run for it with Miller. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Now a 1st down throw. Watson, incomplete. It was Ricardo Allen there on the coverage.
Well, sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue.
Throwing again is Watson. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Kiki QT, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Texans will extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Okay, they went for the fake off of the extra point attempt. It's a long way to go, and they didn't get there. Didn't get it completed successfully. Did someone dare them to do that? Did someone double dog dare them
I was
to do
going to
that?
ask you, maybe they saw something on film, but do you see something on film with those to try something from the 15 on a PAT? I don't know.
The only thing they needed to see on
EA Sports coverage of the NFL is in Houston, in the Space City at NRG Stadium. They do it big here in Houston, and a second ago it was a Texas-sized welcome for their hometown guys. They're fired up and ready to go as they get set to match up with Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons. The veteran Matt Bryant set to rock and roll, and off we go on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. On first down, Watson. Griffin's got it, middle of the field. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opened things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the end routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
They go play action here on first down. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. A good pickup there, a 22.
Hopkins this year, over 1,000 yards again. Fourth time that he's done that in 6 NFL seasons. He had 1,572 to be exact.
And that was second only to Atlanta's Julio Jones. And you have to think the return of Deshaun Watson at the quarterback position, taking all the starts this year, that had to help, because we've seen DeAndre Hopkins have big seasons with multiple quarterbacks, but have that one consistent guy only elevates his play.
Here's Watson on the right side. This is Miller. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller, 27 yards. And the Texans take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 right at the 30. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. A big play there, Ryan to Jones. 41 yards. On 1st down, Ryan. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones, 29 yards. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Watson on 1st down. Steps away to his left. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down. Pretty lucky to get the football back. Had his target out there waving the arms, saying I'm open, but maybe didn't see him quick enough.
And I know the jokes are always about defensive backs' hands. What really actually happens, you don't get many opportunities. You get over anxious, and you start to think about taking it away and going the other way instead of focusing and catching the ball.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10, Watson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Back to throw, Watson. And got his man, complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That goes as a gain of 36 on 3rd down. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Watson now to throw. Flushed out right. Finding room to the 20. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again. The Texans with the first opportunity now from the red zone. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. 2 first-quarter touchdown passes now for Deshaun Watson. And the Texans are in for 6. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to draw up those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Gun. Back 25.
from the gun. Ryan. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. Second and 10. It's Ryan again. He'll let it go deep for... Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And this results in 6. Touchdown. Yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
You're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski. Okay, Oski was an interception.
For different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a two-syllable. You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
There we go.
Back to the air, Ryan after the pick 6. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards.
Get up!
On second down, here's Ryan. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurement.
And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off at the 36.